Hello everyone, my name is Erica Burren and I'm going to be going through the program year 2020 draft annual application changes. Thank you for joining me today. The application for this year did not have major changes. DOE is also launching a comparison documents this year that will be attached to the red line, and we'll discuss them a little later on in the webinar. But that comparison document will be for the -1 guidance, the application instructions, and the ALRD. The comparison documents will help grantees to identify any edits or deletions, and please share any feedback you have after looking at the comparison documents and let us know if this is helpful as you prepare your 2020 plan. So first document that we're going to go through with changes is the WPN 20-1. On page 2, under purpose, we updated the section to reflect the current funding situation, such as the continuing resolution that's in effect through late November, and instructing grantees to use the WPN 19-2 to complete your planning purposes and your budget for 2020. Once we get a final 2020 budget, we will issue the WPN 20-2 for the grantee allocations, and you'll need to adjust your budget at that time. Depending on when a final budget gets passed, we may have amendments, or we may have a final budget when we're allowed to issue WPN 20-20. On page 3, we have program priorities and initiatives. We removed the roof repairs, window replacements, and mold section because that guidance, I believe it was WPN 19-5, was issued. On page 5, the quality work plan implementation, we added some information regarding the weatherization memo number 48 to notify the network of upcoming changes to the content of the standard work specification. However, indicated that compliance with the current version and the grantee's approved installation is mandatory for all the WAP projects. On page 5 and 6, section 2.7, we removed some text in the first paragraph regarding programmatic agreements with the state historic preservation offices, and removed a few items around weatherization activities. Number 6 now states that ancillary items and incidental repairs required for approved WAP projects, and there are some deletions around necessary energy-related repair and replacement. On page 6 and 8, under historic preservation, again, as part of our effort to work with ACHP to extend the programmatic agreements and refine how we're talking about historic preservation and Section 106 requirements, we expanded some information there. On page 8, under 2020 appropriated weatherization funding, we added a reference to refer to 19-2 until we can issue the current 20-2 once we've seen the final budget. On page 8, the adjusted cost per unit. The consumer price index increased from 1.7 this year, so for 2020, the average cost per unit will be $7,669. On page 12, multi-year grant awards. We updated this section to remind grantees that the grant will end in program year 19, and any funds remaining must be deobligated and returned to OMB. On page 9, there are a number of refinements this year regarding climactic conditions. That section was deleted last year, but due to regulatory requirements has been added back to the master file. And because of that, there were a number of essentially numbering changes for the following section, and you can see those listed here. Section 5.1, Technical Guides and Materials. We wanted to list some information regarding changes that were made in PAGE, approval dates for your field guides and energy audit tools are entered by your project officer, so the grantees no longer have to enter that information. We also discussed training and technical assistance planning, and we asked grantees to include your planning percentages to show how you budget your funds towards specific comprehensive trainings and across job categories such as auditor, QCI, crew installer, and management and financial trainings. This type of information is important to DOE to demonstrate across the network how WAP funds are being allocated towards expanded workforce development and education. So we appreciate your thoughtful response to those particular items. On page 9, again under application refinement, we have launched a new WAP communications portal for the network. This is a place where anyone is able to ask DOE a specific question and provide a response that is publicly viewable. The database will be searchable for topics and answers. The link is live, and we've pre-populated some previously released guidance and FAQs on the portal. On page 13, there's the current table of active program notices. This list is to assist everyone with what the most current guidance is if you're not using the ERE site to look at active guidance. So now we'll go through the 2020 application instruction changes. These slides provide an overview of the most significant changes in the 2020 application instructions. The smaller grammatical formatting or basic changes such as dates, etc., are identified in the PDF comparison file. Below is an example of the comparison document between last year's application instructions on the left and the new applications on the right. Again, these will be attached to the red line, and please let us know if these are helpful as you move forward. So the table of contents, please be aware that the numbering changed again this year due to the adding back of the climate conditions sections. Therefore, all of the sections are renumbered. Page 5, Federal Rules and Regulations added. We moved this section on DOE financial assistance rules from section 6 last year to the front of the application based on requests from FA and WIP management. Page 9, Application for Federal Assistance in the Standard Form 424. We revised the language in the main paragraph to remind grantees to select new application rather than a continuation, and added the rest of the S424 fields and provided guidance to assist in completing the form. On page 11, Application for Federal Assistance. Revision to the gray callout box, the carryover text is revised to say there will be no carryover for program year 19, and we remove the carryover template example. Page 18, Health and Safety. We added a reminder to the grantees to consider using the Health and Safety Plan template. While using the template is not required, the information requested within the template is. Using the template developed by WAP team ensures your plan will have all of the required elements to have your plan approved, and it also assists your DOE project officer with review and approval. On page 24, addition of section 3.5, reprogramming training and technical assistance funds. We added the paragraph and referred grantees to WPN 10-10 on this specific topic when considering moving these funds to program operations. We also added a reference to WPN 11-14 and updated the subgrantee selection guidance under the subgrantee section. Page 30, Miscellaneous. For the 2020 application, we requested some information on how grantees are responding to their ACSI survey. So you need to provide an overview of what activities you're going to undertake as a result of the 2019 survey and provide details on your plan or initiatives to improve program operations, training and technical assistance, communications with subgrantees, and quality of work. The grantee can also attach their ACSI action plan to their SF-424 and include a note within this section to alert their DOE project officer. On page 36, added back the climactic conditions, technical guides and materials, added some additional text to remind that the PO is responsible for updating these dates in page 37, energy audit procedures. Added text to remind grantees from WPN 19-4 that grantees submit energy audit approval requests at least 6 months in advance of the expiration date. Added in clarifying text for multifamily project approvals, small multifamily, and large multifamily. Page 40 and 41, training and technical assistance. Added a reminder to take advantage of the T&TA planning and reporting template. There's also a webinar on the training resources page on the EERE site, encouraging grantees to use the template with planning, and it also has the handy benefit of helping to attach for annual reporting requirements. So encouraging everyone to use that tool. Those are all of the changes in the red line for 2020. There will likely be a few changes in the final version when they get released due to not having a final budget, but those will be released as soon as they make it through the DOE process. I hope this red line will assist you as you begin your planning for 2020. If you have any questions, please contact your project officer, or my contact information is on the screen now. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.